So when we are discussing a perspective, we are going to discuss about the change scope, business analysis scope, methodologies, approaches, and techniques, underlying competencies, impact on knowledge areas. This is what we are going to discuss on. And if you can realize that in the change scope, once again we are going to discuss about the breadth of the change, depth of the change, value and the solutions delivered, and the delivery approach and the assumptions which we make. And then when we discuss about the business analysis scope, we'll talk about the change sponsor, we talk about the change targets and the agents who are involved there, and what is the position of a business analyst, and what are the business analysis outcomes we are going to discuss here. All right, now let us see about, already we have discussed about the agile perspective. Let us discuss about the business intelligence perspective. Okay, now business intelligence perspective, if you say this, okay, here what exactly it means is that we have existing data. From this data, what is the value added information we can actually pull from this data? That is what business intelligence means. Okay, so here this info, how to get this value out of this existing data, like where to source it, how to integrate it, how to enhance it, how to deliver it, all this is discussed in the business intelligence okay, perspective. All right, and from a BA perspective, okay, generally we use this in our reporting structures. Generally it's a part of, we can use it as a part of reportings where we can take decision making. In short, we can utilize it there. Right, now if you see here, okay, business intelligence means it's the transformation of data into value added information. Okay, value added information. And here if you see this, here the business and intelligence perspective may, okay, here we are discussing about how this data is being uh, transformed to information, from information to knowledge, and from knowledge to action, how it has been done. We are going to understand it. From insight to the impact, this is how it is going to happen in the context of delivering a reliable, consistent, high quality information that enables stakeholders to better manage strategic, tactical and operational performances. We will be using this, that at what level people may need information to take the right decisions. Here business intelligence will definitely help them out. Okay, and if you can see this this diagram, like uh, so far what we know from an IT perspective or from a normal perspective is that we start creating data as we work, and this comes from like internal systems, external systems and other sources. This data will come and we go for the data integration. Okay, and that data integration may we directly push it to the enterprise data. Now for decision making, we do some data mining or we do some business intelligence algorithms. We run it, and from there we reporting data or decision supporting data, we'll take it from it, and from there we will be viewing it from different perspectives, and different perspectives. We'll be looking into that the same data from different angles, and we'll take a different decisions based on it. Okay, so this is very important for us. It is not a traditional way we actually the way the data is stored will be in one way. The way we pull data from the existing enterprise data, it will be from a different framework altogether. So that we are going to understand what we are going to store and how we are going to pull out the data, what makes it more valuable here, that we are going to see it. Okay, and here if you see the change scope, okay, so the objectives is to provide a single version of the truth. That means, I'll tell you, single version of the truth means actually the data is a fact. The data whatever is stored is a fact. Now from these facts we have to pull out from different levels what all information is required. Till that extent we pull out the data and we will see it. Okay, so it can be like a kind of you can view it as a kind of a reporting only. Okay, to make it sound simple, to make it sound simple, let me say it is a kind of reports we are going to generate, and these reports will help us in decision making. Okay, will help us in decision making, and these reports will actually sometimes they will give us an aid to like what we say, some value, it creates some value, or it pushes us to take the right decisions. Okay, now here we will be like will provide effective information delivery methods and tools, like will promote an enterprise view of the information management, integrate multiple data sources, integrate different types of data, and support infrastructural changes. So all this would be the business intelligence system. We find everything here. And value of the business intelligence initiative would be provide timely, accurate, and actionable information. So what is required at that particular moment of time, that information is being clearly furnished here, and it drives a better informed decision making. Very, very important thing is that it drives a better informed decision making. Based on the previous data, we can pull out the required data and we can make it happen, right? And if you see here, at the executive level, we'll make strategic decisions, and the management level, we make tactical decisions, and then the process levels, we make operational decisions. So what is required at that, but what information and data is required at that particular level, that we have to understand it and make it available to the concerning people so that they can make these decisions possible. And when you see this, okay, the sponsor who is going to actually initiate this, he should understand okay, understand the value of the business intelligence. He should understand, like, okay, with business intelligence only we get some value out of it. And he should promote the projects, and he should understand, like, yes, he should drive it. Because of it, the lot of impact on the positive side is there in the that in the business. He should realize that, and he should influence other executives to adopt to it, and he should approve the budget for this particular initiative. This guy would be taking it. And targets of the decision, business decisions that are made on people, process, and technology. We have to make decisions on the people, process, and technologies which are going to make it up. Okay, and coming to the where exactly a business analyst is positioned. Okay, now here we need to understand that, let me say, uh, we need to understand what sort of information is required at what level, and who is going to use it, for what purpose they want that information. If you can clearly understand it, based on it, we will actually go with an understanding of the data mining and predictive analytics techniques, and visualization tools. We can use it here, and we can actually take help of the data analysts who has experience in defining the that systems data and how they can be used for analytical purposes. They can give us those inputs, and we can also take the help of a data modeler or an architect who is skilled in defining the sources and target data structures in the logical data models, and how we can pull out the data, that we should understand it. Okay, and here we need to understand the basic domain knowledge. We should have the basic domain knowledge so that we can understand what the requirements would be there on taking the decisions. Okay, and then if you see here, if you can see the outcomes of it, okay, the collection of data from the source systems, that is one component, and the specifications of the decision, business decisions to be influenced or changed, what is that specifications, we have to list it out, and the provisions of the targeted information and analytic insight to business stakeholders, like what exactly they will be like, which parameters they will be looking into it, that they will be seeing it, the integration of divergent sources into convergent enterprise framework. That means from where this information comes, and what are the sources of it, and where we are viewing it, and how we are going to view it, till what extent, and what details we are going to view it. All this will come under the business analysis outcomes. Okay, and here if you see, we are going to take number one, we are going to deal with the decision models, business analytics and requirements, the solution architecture, transformation rules, and like data models, and the sources from where this data models comes into picture. Okay, and the business process, where we are actually working on, and where this new solution will fit in, or the new decisions are made of. We are going to analyze those things. Okay, and when you look into the types of analytics methodologies, number one, descriptive analytics. That means you understand and analyze the past business performance and requirements for the standard reporting and dashboards, and ad hoc reporting and query functionality would be there. That means what has happened, this is what exactly is available now. Predictive analytics means we identify patterns and relationships to predict the future events. Okay, let me say we say that a few months we will do high business, few months the business will be dull. Likewise we can understand it, that is predictive analytics. Okay, requirements for the pattern recognitions through data mining, predictive modeling, forecasting, and condition driven alerts. All this we can make it up. And here we have this prescriptive analytics. Prescriptive analytics means what will improve. So identify the decisions and initiate actions to improve the business performance. That means so if we make small changes, or we can make a small decision makings, like small decisions towards an initiative, it will make an impact in the future outcomes. So those things we have to be little careful on. Okay, we should be actually focusing on it. Okay, for that we have to look into the business objective, constraints, criteria, and the business rules for decision making process. We have to look into it, and from there we can get into this prescriptive analytics. Fine. So we have in analytics like descriptive, what has happened, and predictive, what is going to happen, and prescriptive, like it is we are going to add our influence in there and the good practices, so that we can get the predictive as per our the future as per our requirements, right? And here we have the structured and unstructured data. Structured data would be your data models, data dictionaries, and business rules. And unstructured data would be your metadata descriptions and data matching algorithms will be your unstructured data. Okay, and coming to this competences, okay, so what exactly will be where we are going to have influence on this competences is that okay, we have to understand a liaison between the business stakeholders and the technical solution providers. We should be a liaisoning between these two, and we need to know about the business data and functional usage, analyze complex data structures, understand business process including KPIs, decision modeling and data analysis techniques, data warehouse and intelligence, logical and physical data models, and ETL best practices. We should know ETL means extract, transform, and load, right? And what is the impact on these knowledge areas? On each knowledge area, what will be the impact of it? Now it is like a business intelligence. Business intelligence means in business analysis, planning, and monitoring. In this particular knowledge area, intelligence, business intelligence means already the data is there, you're going to take it. So we have to consider the level of stakeholders and the business analysis expertise on the planned approach. That means who are involved in it, and what is expected from it, and how they're going to work on it. We can plan it here. And we should be aware of the business intelligence solutions, like how many stakeholders are involved, and what is the stakeholder collaboration, to which requirements they are directly mapped, and is there any overlaying of these requirements, who are the decision makers. That will be looking into the business analysis, planning, and monitoring. Okay, when it comes to illustration and collaboration, we should understand that especially documentation tools and techniques we are going to use to illustrate particular requirements from the stakeholders, both business and technical. Okay, generally we will be actually working very closely with the stakeholders, and these stakeholders will give you knowledge, and sometimes it is a partial knowledge, and sometimes it is expertise on it. And based on it, how decisions are made on the business, and what data elements, what data sourcing, what business rules, and will be impacted because of the stakeholders. You need to understand it. And it is something like here collaboration may concerning this, what is the source of data, what is the reliability of that particular data. We need to understand it. Okay, this is how we are going to make it up. Okay, fine. And the next one is requirements lifecycle management. In requirements lifecycle management, we have to understand from where it starts, and what information we are going to pull out from using these tools, and okay, and what should be the decision making. So what will be the requirements, based on it we will be taking it forward on this. And strategy analysis, here we need to understand like high level models to map the business architecture. Okay, it is like logical data models, data flow diagrams, decision models, and physical data models. It is all dependent on the data, like all the databases, data models we should be aware of it. From there, what information we're going to take it. Strategy analysis is all about to understand the as is and to be like. So here the existing models we have to understand it. Okay, and requirements analysis and design definitions. Here we are going to see front end may what are the what is the like reports we are going to generate, and what is the formats of it, and where we will take on what parameters we're going to take decisions on it, and backend may what data is being actually be used, and what is the source of this business rules. We are going to understand it here. Okay, got it? Just a minute. Okay, and okay, and coming to this solution evaluation, may we are going to understand like what is exactly information we are going to furnish for the reports, and what information, what value they're going to generate out of it, we're going to assess here. Okay, so it's like the business intelligence from a BA perspective, you can consider more like reports which we can actually generate, and though for generating those reports, what kind of tools and what kind of expertise we'll be looking into, that we will be considering it there. Okay, and the next one is a business, like if you can consider this IT perspective. IT perspective is a very common perspective. What we all actually studied all about is the IT perspective only. Okay, now in IT perspective, what we are going to discuss here is the okay, we are going to understand like the business goals, need, and what is the vision. We have to understand it, and before we could start on this actually perspective, we will understand what is the solution impact, and what is the organization maturity, and what is the change scope. We will be understanding it, and from there we have to take it forward. And generally the reasons for initiating changes to IT systems would be like creating a new organizational capability, or achieving an organization objective by enhancing an existing capability, or facilitating an operational improvement. It is generally what we do in our day-to-day basis. If you face any problem, the first thing is that we see that if anything we can do on the IT front to cover this gap, to address this gap or the limitation. Generally we come up with an IT system, right? So that is what we are going to see here. And if you see basically we see the existing IT application is there, or it is a new IT application, and what exactly the business analysis activities we're going to make it up. And for that, what are the functional requirements, what is the functionality that is being covered, and what is the non-functional requirements which is there, and how to make it from the technical front, and how to actually integrate this particular effort into it, and after integration how the IT supports the organization's operations, that we will be looking into the change scope. Okay, and then we have this value. What is the value we are going to make it up? So reducing operational cost, decreasing wasted efforts, increasing strategic alignment, increasing reliability and stability, automating error prone or manual processes, repairing problems. Okay, making it possible to scale up, enhance, or to make more readily available business capability, implementing new functionality. And it's like these are the values which you're going to make it up here. And coming to the business analyst position, here we will understand, we will have two perspectives here. One is the business perspective, that is the functional perspective, where we take inputs from the SMEs, and the next one would be the technical perspective, where we take from the technical architects, we take the inputs from it. And then we will see that where we have to make this particular change, like is it with the existing IT application you're going to make a change there, or it is a new process that is being proposed where we have to take it. And in that particular change, either we are going to develop a software application, or we are going to have a COTS application here. And what is the what we will take a we will see the benefits of in both those areas. We will see the benefits list, we compare it, and then we take a decision how we are going to take it forward. Okay, and here if you see here, we are going to we are going to understand the requirements, we are going to understand the solution scope, we are going to understand the what are the various options available to come up with the solution, and we try to compare them, and then we will be mapping them, and finally we can take a decision on it. Okay, and here we have this when we go with the approaches of development, it is predictive approach, adaptive approach, and hybrid models are already been there. Okay, when it is a solution. And also we will be looking into like sometimes we may consider cost suppliers. In that case we will be going for vendor management. Okay, we will be going for a vendor management as well, we will be taking care of it. Okay, and here if you see this the knowledge area may BAPM, like a business analysis and planning and monitoring may, what we actually do is this, like we will plan how we have to actually do our business analysis framework. Okay, that we will be deciding it here. And then it is like we have to identify our stakeholders and how we are going to collaborate with them, that RSA matrix we will be understanding it here, and the risk analysis as well will make it here. Okay, and the requirements lifecycle management will draw, that will come up with a cycle, like how the requirements are going to start, where they're going to originate, and how they're going to transform to a solution, and the mapping how we are going to make it up, that we will be making it here. And the strategy analysis, we discuss about the as a stage and the to be the future state, the current state and the future state, and how we are going to reach the future state, we are going to analyze it here. Okay, what is the what's through what solution we are going to reach this future state, and what are the risks involved in doing it, here we are going to understand it. And requirements analysis and design definitions, that means how we are converting the existing requirements into design into the design structures. Now this is what we exactly did in our case study, that we mapped onto the requirements, and we come up with the design definitions here as well. This is exactly what we did from the IT perspective, we did it. Okay, and then the solution evaluation, that will start mapping the requirements onto the solution, whether it is being actually giving you the value of it, and is there any fine tuning of the requirement is required, or the existing environment will surface the requirement, the need, and is able to address the value what is being been predicted there. Okay, so that will be looking into the solution evaluation. Okay, now this is like what we have discussed from the IT perspective is what we have actually discussed from that perspective only. Okay, fine, so we have been discussing from that perspective. Just give me a second.
Hello, Anito.
Hello. Yeah, hi.
Hi. How is your preparation going on? Oh, sorry.
No, it's going on, but not that much in pace. We
Okay.
just started. Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
So not in this month, but this month little bit busy with the project. So once get out of that, a little bit relaxation, then I will get into this. What about you?
Yeah, I haven't started actually, but
Okay.
winter. So,
Okay. Where have you been working?
I'm not from IT background. This is a new role for me as a BA. I work as a clinical pharmacist.
Okay. So you
Yeah,
are trying as a BA as a healthcare industry.
change of career. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good.
How about you? You working presently?
Yeah, yeah, with the LTI, LNT employee.
Excellent. That's good. Good to know.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mr. Venkata, we took some time to
No
introduce
problem,
ourselves.
no problem, no
Hello.
problem, no problem. And it's good to have a discussion as well. Okay. Now this, it's like I'll tell you, when we start knowing about each other, then we can find some value out of it. Okay, we can build it. I believe, right? We can
Yeah.
actually we can help each other when you are preparing for it. Okay, because this subject is kind of thing, when we actually work on a complete a project or a case study, you'll get more what we say understanding about the concept. Otherwise the concept is very dry. When you start mapping the concept onto a case study or onto a project or onto a real-time scenario, then only it makes sense. Then only we can understand it in the right way. There's a major problem with the BABOK, because BABOK says it's like it gives you all the guidelines. So that's a very what we say limitation in this learning. Initially we have to come up with the case studies and apply those case studies knowledge, then only we can take it forward. Okay, fine. And I am uploading all these videos and also the material there in that drive. Hope you are going through it, right? A sort of.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And also keep writing the exams. Exams are very, very, very important for us. Okay, I want you to start writing those exams. When you start writing those exams, then well, I want you to write the exams at least 2 or 3 times. 3 times you complete all these exams, those 60 exams which you have it now. So complete these 60 exams like 3 times you write it. Then you get a basic understanding. Then we can go with let me say the mock test, the grand mock test, that we can attempt it. When you complete this one 3 times like that we completed, then we can go with the mock test. And mock test, 2 3 mock tests you write it, then you're good to go ahead to take the main exam. That way we will be doing it. Without practice, if you write the exam, there's a problem. So here we have to, that's the very reason access to the exams are given to you beforehand. Got it? So try to actually write, give exams as many as you can. Not a problem even though you go wrong, because while giving an exam, your thought process of try to understand, to find out an answer, that experience is very, very required. That is very, very important when you write the actual exam. You got me, no? Because knowledge is different from application. Okay, knowledge is different from application. How you're going to apply this knowledge is the main criteria here. Got it? Clear on this? Okay, fine. Now when you,
Yeah.
okay, for anything from your end, you want to say something like a
No, no, no.
okay, fine. Now
No, no,
that
no, no. Yesterday night I have spoken with my, so I sent you the mail. So you just
uh,
check with that
yeah, I've gone through it.
and let me know at the earliest. Yeah.
I've just gone through it. I'll analyze it. Okay, I'll analyze it, and then okay. Only thing, only question I want to ask you is, did you consider that 1 week is that whatever I told you that? Did you consider the dynamics there? Okay,
Yeah, actually, this is ready sheet I got on the name. So from where I actually picked up. So
Okay, that
I think it is sort of, but we can add that kind of
now
formula
if
there.
I'm not wrong, okay, okay, let me go through it, then I'll give you my feedback on that. Okay, give me a day's
Sure,
time.
sure.
Okay, give me a day's time so that I can go
Sure,
through it.
sure, sure. I can add that your formula as well, the what you have
No, I
calculated.
don't. I don't think there is something called my formula, because everybody follows the same thing. You see, week is the same thing. It will not change from person to person, right? Okay, so it will be the
Yeah, yeah,
same
yeah.
thing.
I
So
think
if
so, but still to that is what the agenda is like, to re-verify and make sure it should not reject it.
right, that I'll go
So
through it.
by anyhow. So
Right,
that's it.
definitely will look into
Okay.
it. Okay,
So just expecting the earliest reply. So at least IIBA gets some time to approve that.
right. I'll go through it, and I'll also tell you that. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Next.
sure.
Okay.
Thanks.
So we are left with this business architecture perspective. Okay. Now, when you look into the business architecture means it's like uh, to be very fair, it is like running one business end to end, or it is like running one, it is a dynamic model. It is a dynamic model that it covers all this, like it has strategic objectives, it has like ongoing whatever is going to happen in that day-to-day operations, we are going to see it, and at the same time we have to achieve our goals and targets, and see that there are no challenges there. All this it should be coming up with it. The simple example for you to understand it, let me take you want to start one restaurant. You want to start one restaurant. Now let me say you don't know anything about this restaurant business, but you want to start one restaurant. Then what you will be doing is, first of all, restaurant, how it should work out. You will just see what are the best practices available in the existing restaurants, right? How it should work out, what menu items you're going to keep, and how you are going to take the operations. If any challenges are there, how we are going to address it, what is plan A, what is plan B, like you will be taking it forward, right? You plan it accordingly. So here the same thing, architecture means we have this overall, like keeping a hotel is not just keeping a hotel. You have to take permissions from the governments, compliances would be there, food and safety would be there. You have to go and take their permissions as well. You have to follow their norms, and not only that, there will be some guidelines of like, let me say, the local bodies guidelines would be there, like what food you have to serve, what food you cannot serve as well, because in few areas few foods are banned, you cannot actually serve it, and like that they will give you all these guidelines. Based on it, you have to plan it. Not only that, here we'll be having a like which taxes you actually you'll be like coming under, and what is the frequency of paying those taxes, and how to show the turnover. Like accounting front, you have to look into things on the HR front, you have to look into things on the exact process front, you have to look into things on the compliances, we have to see, and overall business we have to monitor, like what should be the target, how much business we have to do in a month, how much we are going to achieve it, or if we are falling short of it, then what is that you are going to do. So all this you will be thinking, that is an architecture. I just want you to get that dynamic behavior of the architecture, and when you design any architecture, it should be so flexible that as per the changing scenarios, your architecture should also address it. Then only it will be easy for us to handle any business, or actually understand it. Okay, got it? Clear on this? Now here the we talk about architectures is for the entire enterprise. Now do you get an difference between an organization and enterprise? What is the difference between an organization and an enterprise? Anyone? Okay.
I think you explained this in the beginning.
Right, exactly.
Enterprise is something like uh, you took an example of working in a different IT verticals and or no different departments
All right.
is organization
Okay, I'll tell
and
you.
working in for the same goal.
All right.
Sorry, but
Yeah, you're almost near to it. Okay, I'll tell you. Let me take HR. The HR functionality in all the companies would be very similar. That is an enterprise. HR can be considered as an enterprise. Or you take, let me say, accounting. Accounting, all companies will have accounting, and accounting is same. That accounting can be considered as an enterprise. That is, it will not change. The basic funda of it will not change. Now, combination of these verticals and departments, we form an organization to work for a common goal or an objectives. You got me, no? Like if you establish any company or an organization, you will have HR, you will have accounts, you have IT, and you have your core process. Likewise, you will be taking advantage of an enterpriseal success formulas. You will be taking it and you will be utilizing it for your business or your company or for your organization. Organization have multiple enterprises. Organization can have multiple enterprises, and enterprise is bigger than an organization. Please understand, an enterprise will be a bigger than an organization to have that relationship. Okay. Now, here we need to understand. Okay, business architecture means the same thing like 5W1H. We have to apply it here, like what, how, who, where, why, and all this we will be taking care of it. 5W1H if we apply it, and then you have to have that complete information. Just to take that starting a restaurant in your mind, then automatically you'll start understanding the architecture. Automatically you'll start understanding the architecture. That means first of all you have to take an example so that you can connect to it. Right now, here we will be seeing that okay, this change, whatever you're going to happen, whatever you're going to make with this business architecture, what is that for the across the enterprise as a whole, or as a single line of business, or for a single functional division, what we are going to make it up here, we are going to understand it, the change where you are going to happen, where you are going to make this this new business architecture, you have to understand it. Okay, and then for that you have to understand the capabilities, the value, the processes, information and data, organization, and the reporting and management, stakeholders, security strategies, and outcomes. Here it is simply you just need to map that. Please map this restaurant example here. You will come clearly understand what it's it. Okay, and coming to this initiatives like what is the strategic planning, what is business remodeling here, organization redesign, streamlining business operations, cost reduction, formulation of institution knowledge. And here all this comes into picture when, let me say, like when you are coming to this, when you're starting this business, like what is that model we are going to follow? It's like a let me say, is it a canteen model? Initially the customer will pay for it, take the bill, and it is like a takeaway. There they will be, then you can collect that food items from the counter. Is it that mode, or is it, what is the model they are going to follow? Or you will give the seating first, give the menu card, then they order the food, and after the food you present the bill. That is, this is a separate model. Likewise, you have to understand it, how you are going to plan it up, and you have to understand where we can actually save on time, save on money, and the cost, where we can do it. That we have to understand this from the change perspective. We have to understand it. And as a business analyst, okay, where we are going to see is that under what context we are going to do it. Okay, and what will be the impact of this new architecture to the entire business, and where this actually fits in, and what we are going to, how we are going to contribute, that is given here. Okay, and then we will be seeing like okay, what we can actually use it, like what are our business goals and perspectives. From there, IT, how it comes into picture, what is the process architecture here, how we can integrate the existing architecture to, how we can integrate the new architecture to the existing architecture, that we'll be seeing from the business analysis perspective. Okay, and here for us to see this, okay, I already described you this like the new architecture, where it fits into the present architecture and what is that. And we have to come up with so many maps, like business capability maps, value stream maps, organizational maps, business information concepts like high level process architectures, business motivation models. All this comes into picture, that this is through which they can easily understand it. Okay. And already standard models and architectures are available in the market, like we can go through it. For insurance and financial industry, it is Accord is there, and BMMI is for generic for all this, and IT governance and management COBIT is there, and US government has come up with their own model, FEA SRM. You can see the full forms in the BABOK guide, we have it. And then for supply chain management we have SEOR, and then we have it, already we have gone through few of it, like okay, information maps, capability maps, business process architecture, and business motivational models. Like this you can go through it and have an understanding about it. And business enterprise architecture may we have this enterprise architecture, we have this TOGAF, and we have this Jackman, and we have this Poldot. These architectures are there. Like just go through the standards architectures available in the market, and so that you'll have a basic understanding of how you can design your own architecture. Fine, got it. And it is like if you are working on the architecture level, first of all your knowledge levels is show on the particular domain should be good, and that too your tactical what we say implementation of your decisions is very, very important. And it's like we need to understand, like architecture mostly it is you're going to take the responsibility of running that particular vertical end to end, and any challenges you should be able to overcome it by coming up with new let us say ideologies. So this we have to look at from here. And here whatever architecture you design, it should be very clear without any ambiguity. It should be very clear without any ambiguity. We have to see it. And when you start or if we say applying this onto the 6 knowledge areas, each knowledge area may how you're going to take it about this particular architecture. I just want you to do the analysis part of it. Anyhow, I took out some standards and kept it here. I want you to go through this 6 knowledge. When you start implementing it, then you will understand, okay, what will actually happen here. Okay, illustration collaboration may what we are going to do concerning this business architecture may illustration. That means who are going to make it up, we are going to understand it. Okay, and here we will see that for each area may how we are going to make it up. You have to go through the 6 knowledge areas, and each knowledge area now we have an understanding on it. On business architecture, how it is implemented, try to understand it. That will give you an idea about it. Okay, and then the business process management perspective, it is like already the process is there, and you're trying to work with it, and you're going to add value to it and improve on the process. And you're going to make let me say it's like since generally what we do in the present process, in the present job, is this only. You work on IT, you work on non-IT, you work in any process, actually you're be considered as a business process management business analyst. That is what we are. Now let me say you work on any process. When we are working with that process, we try to understand what is the crux of that particular process, and we realize the limitations of this particular process and the challenges which are facing there, and we try to come up with on the improvement areas, like so we come up with those improvement areas, how this can happen. That is given through business process management perspective. From here it is given it. Okay, and if you can see here, what if you face any challenge, then you will be like for that challenge okay, you will be seeing, okay, I want a design for it, and then you will be designing it, then you will be modeling it, and then you'll execute and monitor it, and you keep on and optimizing it. While optimizing, once again you will be facing a new challenge. For that new challenge, once again you go for designing part of it, and then the modeling part, execution and monitoring will happen. Likewise, it is a business process management life cycle will happen, and it's a continuous life cycle. Will be continuously, if you solve one challenge, then it is working fine. Slowly one more challenge will creep in. For that you are going to handle it. It's a continuous process that we keep on improving. Okay, for that, designing, modeling, execution and monitoring and optimizing is how we are going to make it up. Okay, so it is a part of the standards what we have seen, okay, and we have to know about a business process model. First of all, we should be knowing a business process model will have a goal, and any process will take some inputs, it has some outputs, and we have some it uses some resources and group of activities performed in some specific order, and then it creates value to the end customer, like internal or external. That we go through that. So we need to be very much specific and understand what are the frameworks are available in on these particular areas in these particular industries, and are we using them, or do we have any challenges in it, how we have to actually make a change in that, that is given here. Okay. And mostly it is our day-to-day operations may what challenges we are going to face. Those challenges we have to convert them into opportunities, and we will be coming up with the new solutions. That is what we are going to do here. That is the value we are going to make it up. Okay. And here when we are going through it, number one is time factor. Will be decreasing, like the time factor, that time will be working on it. Cost factor will be reducing it, and the quality factor will improve, the productivity will improve, and the risk management would be like we will be managing the risk at the right level, and compliances will be like will be adopting to the compliances, and we see, and we'll make this this particular process ready to the next levels. Okay. And then we see this okay, if you see here, the business change initiatives may the project manager, here we have been discussing about it, and in the ongoing process through implementation we make everybody a part of it, and they start adopting to the new process or the new application, and they start working towards it. Okay. And here if you see here, okay, what we are trying to see here is that initially we have to understand the key performance indicators, and we need to understand the critical success factors. Both we have to consider and work on those areas, and ensure that whatever the new improvement you are giving it, it is not pulling out some other criteria. Let me say, in one instance we worked on one process, one process improvement. Actually what happened after that, the new improvement is given, it impacted the other area. Like in the same process we have another parameter, that parameters is badly impacted and affected because of this new implementation, so we have to roll it back once again to the previous state. So that actually happened. So we have to understand it. Positive implementation means it will not impact the other parameters, the other initiatives. It will not be impacted because of this new initiative. We have to take care of it. That is one important criteria which we have to see it. For that we will establish like a KPIs, and we will see key success factors. We will have that the other interfaces, other applications, how they're impacted because of this new process. We have to be, because of this process improvement, what will be the impact on them, we have to understand it. Fine. And here we will come up with a like the list of one we will maintain one register for this KPIs, and we will ensure that all these areas have been addressed, and we will be getting it the exact value is been, we are going to get it without impacting the value of the other processes or other business verticals not been impacted. Because of it we have to understand it, and then we will be taking it forward. Okay. And for that we will be seeing with the business process models. Okay, we will see the business rules and the performance measures, the business decisions and performance assessments will be taking care of it. And methodologies which we can see is that like we have seen this adaptive case management, business process reengineering. Generally we go with business process reengineering, and continuous process on regular basis we'll be doing it, and Six Sigma like we have gone through it, and the lean. Okay. And total quality management and the theory of constraints. Okay, most of the times what we will be going ahead with the continuous improvements that we'll be seeing, and we will be looking into business process engineering. These two are commonly adopted methodologies which we actually do it. Okay, work on it. And here while we are working on it, first of all we should have clarity on the current process, and we should clearly understand what the challenge is. Root cause analysis is a must, and from there we can actually come up with a what we say an initiative to change it for a positive response, or for a positive impact. We have to make this particular change. Okay. And we have to map all this knowledge on the 6 knowledge areas. We have to actually map our what will be the impact of business process management on these 6 knowledge areas. We have to see it like if it is a business analysis, planning and monitoring, how it can happen through that. Because we have to understand how we are going to make this process. First of all we have to understand the current failures, the current challenges, and where and what is the process we are going to make it up. All this we will be seeing in this business process and illustration and collaboration. We have to understand the stakeholders who are involved in this process and how we are going to collaborate with them, what process what process modeling we are going to take it, and how we are going to manage the stakeholders and their expectations set on this. We will be understanding it. And requirements lifecycle management, we design how the requirements are, how we take these challenges, how we translate these challenges into the requirements, and how the solutions can be met. That is been seen here. Okay. And the strategy analysis, the what are the current challenges here we are going to face, we have it, and what is the future state you are aiming to go there. We have to clearly define the future state. Okay. Now, while defining the future state, you have to keep in mind the present challenges as well. Okay, and what shouldn't change as well, you have to note it clearly here. That is very, very important. Okay. And here the as is process, you have to understand it, and your organization structure and business rules and the business objectives, strategies, all this shouldn't change. Okay. What shouldn't change as well, you should be very much clear about it, and we have to make it up. And we have to see what are the different solutions available for this particular initiative, for this particular change, what many options, how many options are available for us to do this change. We have to look into things and we have to take it forward. And finally, we have multiple options there. We have to evaluate different scenarios and what value they are going to create for each scenarios, and we have to freeze on one and then implement that particular solution that we have to make it up. Okay. So here we can even come up with the KPIs and how the KPIs have been are addressed here, and how we can take it forward. That can be done here through this. Okay. So these are the perspectives which we have. These are the 5 perspectives, and so these 5 perspectives we have to look into the change scope, business analysis scope, methodologies and approaches and techniques, underlying competences and impact on knowledge areas. We have to see all this. Okay, got it. And here what I request you is you take projects how I suggested you take one perspective and try to work on each of these. Then you'll get more clarity. Fine, got it. So with this we complete this the BABOK. We have completed an overview of the BABOK. So next step is you have to keep writing exams. Okay, you have to keep writing your exams, and then working on the example which I've quoted with you, or mapping all those knowledge areas and competencies, and that you have to map it onto it and start working towards it. Okay. And once you are done with it, I want you to write your mock tests. Once you are done with this basic exams, then we will give access to the mock tests. At that mock test, it becomes easy for you to go ahead on it. Fine, got it, clear on this? And any questions you can ask me